Thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education in both the stock market and cryptocurrency worlds. See the links in the description of this video for more information on our two courses, Entries and Exits on the Fundamentals of Technical Analysis, as well as our new course on Trading Cryptocurrency Strategy. Purchase both and receive a 20% off bundle discount. Thanks for checking us out. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hey everyone, checking in on the big three here for a quick midday check-in, and money's growing on trees in the cryptocurrency sector again. We have huge breakouts in the big three, and we had ETH lagging behind in the last video I did. They certainly caught up. We'll look at that in just a moment. But really, we just have the new all-time high having the news circulate. We have people in our chat room talking about how they're waking up to 4 messages from their friends, 4 different people wanting to know how to buy Bitcoin. So it's definitely, every time we hit an all-time high, it's in the news and it's on people's minds, and that's where we get these big-time continuations. Absolutely surprised at the amount of follow-through we've seen here, where we got an 18% move since we've seen the all-time high break now, even more than that, and just, $800, $900 so quick. And it really leads you to believe we're going to be in 5 digits here, over 10,000 at some point. I won't try and guess when, because anybody that is giving a date is just guessing. But I do believe that's going to happen, and it does seem like the market is not going anywhere, and the hype is not going anywhere. We've got, Goldman Sachs. We're now seeing the headlines going around about the market cap being bigger than Goldman Sachs. We've got, I believe, brokerages are in a race to provide trading platforms because of all the excitement. And what it is it's the market dictating all of this. So we are the market, and everybody's saying, I want to trade Bitcoin. I want to trade these cryptocurrencies. And so these big firms are saying, okay, the demand is there. You'll give us your money in terms of fees. Let's give them the service they want. And we're going to see that adoption take place. We have our first ETH, ETN, which is not the same as an ETF, but it's very similar in the sense that you can buy this ETN and it will be directly correlated to the price of ETH. That's now in the European markets. Just wait till that hits the US markets. When that gets to become a thing, that will be very significant. But the bottom line is, it's acceptance. Week by week, every new all-time high, we see more acceptance, and that's exactly what this sector is looking for. So looking at Bitcoin here, the current all-time high is 58.67, 59, and 6,000 will be the next psychological resistance levels. The 4-hour time frame is seeing some sideways trading, and it's healthy consolidation. We are overextended. This MACD is unsustainable when it separates this far from the orange line that quickly and that steep of a grade. That is unsustainable. Doesn't mean we're going to pull back right now, but we know to be anticipating a pullback. So our supports, by looking at the hourly time frame, we can see that we have formed a high, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low, bull break of the equilibrium. So as soon as we broke through 57.16, we got that higher high, and we're now just looking at the all-time high resistances. If we see a break from here of 55.19, that would be a red flag, because that is our higher low on this hourly time frame to keep the bulls in control. So we can pull back, and anywhere above 55.19 would keep another higher low, keeping those bulls in full control. 15-minute time frame, we can see that bull break that did occur. Healthy consolidation at this point, no red flags. So the bottom line is the Bitcoin bulls are still in full control. We could, from here, see a move over 6,000. It is entirely possible. It all depends on what big money is doing. We have, Coinbase is making it easier to directly deposit $25,000 from your bank. And again, it's just step by step. We are seeing more acceptance, more ease, and every time hurdles are dropped down to connect the general public to being able to purchase cryptocurrencies, we see an influx of money coming in. So we're seeing that with the ETN. We're seeing that with these brokerages that are going to be racing to become able to trade these currencies. And we are seeing that in the, I just lost my train of thought. So Bitcoin bulls are very strong as a bottom line. We are going to be cautious. I would be walking up a stop loss at this point. If I were in Bitcoin right now, I'm not. I'm currently in Litecoin at this point, but I've been trading all 3 of the big 3 over the past 2 days, just jumping in and out, and I just traded ETH this morning. I'll point out that trade, but just this higher low, 55.19, if that breaks to me, that's a red flag that tells me we're likely to see some more prolonged consolidation. So it's nice to have these clear higher lows, and Ethereum just gave us one as well. So Bitcoin's clearly the lead bull with blue sky breakout and no resistances, but Ethereum and Litecoin are making some very key breaks on their daily charts as well. So we had a break here on Ethereum, and you can see if we get over 345, we do not have much resistance at all. We're looking up at 353, 372, 400, 4, and then the all-time high up here. And that's actually not the all-time high, but the all-time high up in the 420s. What was it there? 420 exactly. So big bull break on a spike in volume. I was highlighting the channel in all these videos that we clearly made a bull break out of. And again, it's the lack of resistance now, and the bulls should see some easy higher lows and higher highs. The one thing I am watching on the weekly chart here is we're still in an equilibrium pattern with our high, low, lower high, higher low. Anything under 397 is another lower high. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. We could make a bull move up to 360, 370 over the next few weeks, but I would not be surprised to reject and not be able to break 397 without forming a couple red weeks of consolidation and establishing a new higher low. So I am going to be keeping an eye out that for Ethereum, but definitely going to be watching for strength and continuation, which is what we've been seeing. So another point about, we have the forks coming up on Ethereum, and we have, you know, the situation with Bitcoin. Some people saying that the fork has already been mined, and we got the pre-mining going on. Either way, the fundamentals definitely matter, but right now the market doesn't care about that at all, and we're just trading on momentum and hype right now. So we have to protect these positions in case, you know, things turn sour. And if you're in a longer term position, I do suggest some protection, whether that be scaling out. And it's important to remind ourselves to scale out. You know, you're in a position and the bulls are breaking out and you're saying, when do I sell? Well, you can, when you see we're very, very overbought, you can scale out a little bit. Take 20% of your position off. And then if we keep going for a while longer, take another 20% off. And that's a really, like I said, I made a video a while ago, the anti-FOMO is scaling out of positions. If I sell half my position and the price keeps going up, I say, great, I still have half my position and I'm profiting. If the price then drops, I say, great, I sold half of my position, I locked in that profit. So it's the anti-FOMO to scale out of your positions. There's no reason to sell all at once. You can sell a little bit and watch how things develop and then make further decisions from there. So ETH on the 4-hour, certainly overextended. Again, the MACD is unsustainable. RSI is very overbought. RSI gets disregarded to a degree in these bull breakout moves that are just surges of volume, but they're still relevant on these names that are not blue sky breakout like ETH and LTC. So we do have our current high up at 345, and on the hourly time frame, we can see the breakout occurred here, and it came out of nowhere. We had a bit of a stop out here where we had 300 psychological support, and that broke only by a couple dollars. It took out some stop losses, and then we ripped higher. So in my opinion, that was likely intentional, just to get that last little flush out before the turnaround. And the clear bull break occurred once 305 became support again. This 305 level has been so clearly key as both support and resistance. And as soon as we got over 305, that's when the volume really showed up. And then we saw healthy consolidation and continuation. So here on the 15-minute chart, I made a bull entry on this break. So here's our consolidation: high, low, lower high, higher low. And we did get just barely a higher high, not convincing, but I made a bull entry on this break where it was a more convincing break of these lower highs, and we were heading back to the high of this bull move. And then as soon as we saw this little consolidation and continuation, I set my stop loss just below this level at 296, or make that 326.90 even, something like that. Then after this little consolidation, we pulled back and bounced off 331.82 and saw continuation. I moved my stop loss just under 330. And then once we got to this big climax up here in terms of price action, I put my stop loss just under 340 psychological support. And I have now been stopped out, and I'm just patiently watching here. And I did move back into LTC now, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. So certainly shifting around, lots of positions. And with all of this movement, again, both long-term holders are profiting and active day traders are profiting. And which is the better alternative to take, it all depends on the situations, but I am enjoying bouncing around and being very protective and locking in my profits and not having anything to worry about in terms of whether or not we do see some significant consolidation from these levels. So current support right now on Ethereum in the short term is 334, and then I'm looking down at these levels, 331.82, 326.96. And we haven't really established a ton of support there. That's really all we have to be going off of, and just want to get these Bitcoin levels very clear. Current support 56.76, and then looking down at 56 even. So Litecoin made a bull break from its channel on the daily. We do still have the high of the bounce resistance at 62.41. Once we clear 62.41, then we're in the clear till 71.93. So that break would be very significant for the bulls. You can see the bull volume and nice follow through. We're currently consolidating and back testing previous resistance, now support. Currently holding it, the 4-hour time frame. We pulled back significantly. Our new support is 55.25, and we're trying to make it back towards the recent high. That being said, we are watching for an equilibrium pattern here on the 4-hour with our high, low, lower high, higher low, tightening range potentially likely to play out. the correlations keep shifting. There is still some inverse reaction between Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it looks like Litecoin and Bitcoin are more directly correlated than not. But it's always shifting in terms of strength, so it is something to be paying attention to. So Litecoin, 59.89 is our current resistance, and I'm looking at this potential little, on the 15-minute time frame, this little bull flag, and we did break bullish out of it. Healthy consolidation after the breakout, and this line is just marking the bull move of the flag pole, and then that healthy consolidation, and looking at it on the hourly, again, just brief, short-term consolidation. We did get a bullish MACD cross on the hourly, so ideally the bulls want to see continuation here to get over 59.89, 60 psychological, and 60.96 to just get that out of the way and see higher highs. But if we can't do that, it will be an hourly, 4-hour equilibrium pattern to be watching. So I made my bull entry here on Litecoin on this break where we had, let's zoom in on the 15-minute. It was a similar entry as I had on ETH, just in the sense that we had lower highs on the 15-minute, and then we built a base of support, and we got a bull break right here by getting over 57, make that 58.02. That was a bull break, and we saw a nice move up. So I am still in my Litecoin position. I'm wanting to see how this little bull flag plays out. A red flag would be a break of the low of this consolidation of 58.62. That would indicate that the bears are starting to take back over, and looking at after 58.62 down to 58 psychological and 57.33. So it is a battle between the bulls and the bears right now on Litecoin, and I'm certainly watching closely the 5-minute time frame, seeing some big lower wicks, bulls trying to defend support, and paying attention close, keeping a tight leash on that trade. So altcoins, the thumbnail here, altcoins are definitely, you want to be establishing your game plan. And what that means is obviously having the names that you want to be buying mapped out, and looking at their charts to indicate what would it take on this chart for me to want to get in bullish. And in my opinion, it shouldn't just be buying because it's cheap. You should be buying because it's oversold, and we're seeing signs of the bulls showing up. So we don't have to nail the bottom. We can give up a little bit of reward to eliminate a lot of risk by waiting for some shorter term time frames, maybe even just the hourly chart, to set higher lows and higher highs to try and see this reversal play out. Because we know Bitcoin's going to consolidate from up here. It might take a couple days. We might run over 6,000. That's entirely possible. We're not seeing anything telling us we're not going to break 6,000 at this point, but we need more weakness here. Otherwise, we are likely going to see some of these altcoins continue to drop if we do see continuation. So again, for me, that hourly higher low of 55.19, if that were to break, that would increase my interest in purchasing altcoins for a bit of a bounce to play out, knowing that that would be a signal that Bitcoin was likely to see a bit more consolidation. So that's what we've got as we head into the weekend. I appreciate you all watching. Have a great Friday.
Hey, Boom. Want some water? Yeah.